You think the Patriots have any remorse trading or regrets trading Jimmy G?
Well, the situation that they went through was unique, Jen. Of course, when you get rid of good players, you're going to regret getting rid of good players, and that's what Jimmy Garoppolo was. I just think the situation that they were in was something that even Coach Belichick had never been encountered with before. His process has always been a player starts to get older, I'm going to start to see the decline, and I'm going to try to reload that position with the draft or free agency prior to that player, not becoming a shell of himself. Okay, but that player was a 40-year-old Tom Brady, and he won the MVP. So what do? I mean, you're a couple plays away from winning the Super Bowl last year. Brady fumbles on the last play. He had a great game against the Philadelphia Eagles, but you have the MVP. So what do you do with that? I mean, you have a 5-time Super Bowl champion, a multiple MVP. This isn't someone you treat lightly. You got to go to the owner and talk about these things. And obviously, you don't just move on from a player who's just won the MVP. It was a difficult situation. You want the most possible best players you can have on your roster, yes. And holding on to Jimmy Garoppolo just wasn't possible, guys.
Well, listen, I definitely think there was some regret. I mean, because I think any team, when you talk about the Indianapolis Colts going from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck, you want some type of succession plan. And I do agree with Tedy in the simple fact that this is a unique situation. You're talking about a 40-year-old Tom Brady who was the league MVP. But Tedy, I think this situation is kind of weird because the Patriots have over the years dealt away high-profile players. They've dealt away, whether it was cut Lloyd Malloy or Jamie Collins. I mean, there's been a plethora of players.
Richard,
but this is kind of like the first time that I've seen where you dealt away a player, and then you heard the rumblings of a rift between the quarterback and Tom Brady, ownership and Coach Belichick. And I just think that it goes to show how difficult a decision that it was for the organization to make to move on from a quarterback who a lot of people felt that could really be like the Patriots version of Andrew Luck and taking the mantle away from Tom Brady moving forward.
Well, look, for me, here's the reality. I don't think they regret it. I know there's some rumblings they ultimately didn't want to let Jimmy G go, and they were kind of split on that. But the reality is right now Jimmy G is hurt. He's not able to play football. Is this season over? Will he never be able to play again? No, not. Not to mention, the story's not yet told for the Patriots. We can never quite judge Tom Brady on this season. Now, when he lays an egg in the playoffs, when he can't move around, when he's not getting guys the football, when he's overthrowing guys, then we'll say it's a huge problem. But as for right now, you can't say that it's the regular season. Tedy, you put these words out. You never judge the Patriots until the playoffs. You're not going to look at a regular season performance and say who they are or who they aren't.
Yeah, Ryan, that's true. I mean, you're talking about the Patriots, and they're sitting there. If they beat the Jets this week, they're the number 2 seed, and we're picking hairs here on Tom Brady's games, and he has failed situationally. The halftime before Miami, that was a decision I know that he regrets. The interception in Pittsburgh, those are a couple things, but what they're trying to do here in New England is they're becoming a run-first team. The run and the play-action pass, those type of things, that's what they're trying to become. Shaq Mason's the guard is having a great year. Sony Michel, those type of players. Yep. They're going away from the empty throw it 35, 40 to 50 times. You can see the way they've called the plays the last couple games. So this is the team that they want to be now.
Okay, so obviously everybody knows about the dynasty with the Patriots, that they are a championship dynasty. 5 Super Bowls, 16 division titles under Bill Belichick. What would they have to do, assuming that Brady cannot play forever, Tedy? What will they have to do to continue that dynasty? Right now, the backup quarterback is Brian Hoyer. They've gotten rid of all these younger guys who were behind Tom in the quarterback line. So how do they make sure that it continues?
Well, right now, in terms of what's right now, Jen, is the playoffs coming up. You beat the Jets, and then you get the number 2 seed, and you see how it goes after that week of rest. I think there's no other team in the league that needs this week of rest. Then getting that bye would be the New England Patriots coming back after that and playing in Gillette Stadium. I think they would be tough to beat. Okay, if you're looking forward in terms of how this would progress till next season, I just look at other teams and how they've dealt with aging quarterbacks and how they've tried to make them last all 16 games. And I look at the New Orleans Saints because I see Drew Brees also getting there close to his 40s. And what has Sean Payton done to take care of Drew Brees, if you will, take reps off Drew Brees' body, if you will? I see a player like Taysom Hill. I see Taysom Hill come in and get a handful of reps where Drew Brees is just lined up there at wide receiver and he's doing nothing. And it gives you that extra dimension of an offense and also an athlete at quarterback that gives defenses has to worry about different things, and you're taking reps off your quarterback. If you're trying to see, if you understand what I'm trying to say, is taking reps off of an aging quarterback is what Sean Payton is also doing, because if you find a player like a Taysom Hill that can do those type of things, you can have those type of packages for. Throughout the course of a 16-game season, I haven't checked this out, but how many reps has Taysom Hill taken off of Drew Brees? And does that help Drew Brees stay healthy for all 16 into the playoffs? I've watched this throughout the year. I think it's a unique situation to where also Drew Brees, who's my MVP this year, doesn't have the ball in his hands. At times, isn't the one throwing the football. Taysom Hill threw an interception last year, which was unique to me. But it's unique how Sean Payton has gone through this philosophy. Maybe he sees Drew Brees and the age that he's getting to, and projecting it forward to where taking reps off of him. So possibly, does Bill Belichick look to see what Sean Payton has been doing in New Orleans and implement that next year by using a type of athlete playing quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the biggest thing as far as a dynasty is concerned, you still got to have the quarterback. And I would say this, Tom won the MVP last year, and I think everyone is in agreement that his play has slipped, somewhat this year, still playing at a high level. But how much more can Tom beat Father Time? And I think that's the new battle that Tom is facing right now.